Okie dokie. Now, this was a good game. This is Kaelyssa in Defenders of Ios versus Crucible Guard Syvestro. Now, this is how the game starts out. The Dragon's Breath rockets on the left come up and they scatter a 6-inch to the one direction AoE that lands on my unshield walled halberdiers and kills 5 of them. Ouch. So then the other Dragon's Breath rocket on the other side of the map comes up and does the same thing, and it scatters 6 inches and lands on eiryss. And then eiryss dies. Oh, did not feel good. Did not feel good at all. This was my introduction to Crucible Guard. This was the first turn before I even started playing the game. Man, oh, that was rough. So going forward, his stuff moves up the board. And so bad. He's got his Rocketmen up there. Now they have a couple of different orders they can get. They can get obviously the charge press forward order that all infantry units can get. They can get defensive action, or they can get strafing run. Defensive action gives them +2 defense, and then Syvestro has a spell that gives them another +2 defense, and they go up to defense 18. I thought they always had that, and apparently whenever they only are immune to blast damage when they get one of those orders. So right now, because they got the press forward order and they ran, they are not immune to blast damage. I did not know this, and this video is going to be a little bit different. I've thought about this game a lot. I've talked about this game a lot. So this is going to be a discussion and getting good all in one. I'm also hearing more of what you think, but I think I pretty much got this one figured out of what went wrong and what could have been done better. A lot of it is just not being aware of what Crucible Guard does. So right here, I went up and shot some stuff and forgot to pop feet because I was just so focused on what he was doing. I forgot to pop feet with Kaelyssa. Everything kind of just moves forward a little bit. The AFGs should have been drifting some AoE 4s onto those Rocketmen. That's what should have been happening. Kaelyssa should have gone up, shot one of the Rocketmen, taken off the spell transmutation that was on it, and a Hydra that was fully loaded should have gone up with Phantom Hunter and shot out the guy that gives them the order. Because it's the unit attachment that gives them the order that gives them the +2 defense, and that would really change the way this matchup went. Sentinels on the right got Blur. That was the correct move. They're fighting into gunfighting Rocketmen. They don't have any way of ignoring it, and they just basically need to be in shield wall and Blur the entire rest of the game. So that's what should have happened. Instead, that stuff didn't happen, and I piddle-paddled around, and nothing really happened. My halberdiers on the left, they just need to get up there, grab some real estate, and try and get the AFG to do some work. So, yeah, that's more or less, this is what it looks like afterwards. The Rocketmen are still there, the UA is still there, things are still there that I want dead. And my halberdiers are intentionally out of the 14-inch shooting range of all those stormtroopers because they have a range 10 POW 14 that they can sacrifice movement for and make it a range 14 POW 14 Rat 8, and that can kill some halberdiers. So he is looking at an interesting little assassination run. That's what he's doing, his measuring tape here. It doesn't pan out, and he decides not to go for it because he can only get 2 shots from the suppressors there, not 4, like he was hoping for, because there's a rough terrain template that I shot at with the AFG over there, just kind of to slow down his jacks. So on his turn, his combat arcanists go up and they make clouds. His suppressors and his 2 warjacks and his withering humor over there shoot the AFG. Some pretty decent dice, and the AFG on the left is left on 4 boxes. That's rough. That means I'm probably going to be losing that side of the board. His Rocketmen mostly come up, and they're just like, hey, we've got transmutation on me, we've got the +2 defense action, we're really hard to kill, and we're in the way. So that happens. A couple of halberdier dies from the stormtroopers walking up and taking shots at them. Not a whole lot of the board has changed. And then I go and I kill some arcanists and stuff, and I score the flag, and I shoot some stuff. My AFG on the left kills the Dragon's Breath. My AFG on the right kill some stuff. Halberdiers kill some stuff. Thane Knight goes in and kills some stuff. I was debating keeping the Thane Knight over by the AFG so that, and I was debating this in the game, so that it could score that flag later, and so it could shield guard for the AFG, so the shield guard doesn't die here from that POW 14 gun on the Warjack back there. However, I see that there's a lot of things over here Thane Knight needs to kill. Thane Knight and aelyth Fire need to get in there and contest that flag, because that's going to be a big issue for me throughout this game, is contesting that zone. I just imagined I was going to lose everything on the right, because Syvestro still hasn't popped his feet. Oh, and if you guys are wondering why I don't just assassinate the crap out of Syvestro, it's because every turn he's putting up that 4-inch cloud that makes it so anything 5 inches away from him automatically misses. Sprays can accidentally hit him, but nothing targeting him greater than 5 inches away can actually hit him, which means Kaelyssa's Phantom Hunter that ignores line of sight still cannot hit him. Oh, rough. Both my Ron list and my Kaelyssa list that I brought to this tournament just don't. They're based on assassination is a large part of their toolkit, and he just denies both of those. So yeah, he kills some of my stuff, and if I remember right, things get really, really tight from here. Really tight from here. And I didn't take pictures of it until the very end. So I'm going to try and fill in everything that happens without the pictures. He pops feet. Dice happen pretty badly on the right, and he doesn't kill very much of my stuff. He clears out a lot of the halberdiers, and the Thane Knight gets dismounted, and aelyth Fire is walking around smacking people last standing, and he can't get that flag. Alyce goes in and also does really poorly. Forgeguard kind of move up to be threatening. Oh, I forgot the turn before. Hydra got Phantom Hunter and shot Morley off the Forgeguard, because Morley has this command bubble of 4-up tough and can give them immune to knockdown, which is stupid good. So now he can't put Transmutation on the Forgeguard to give them +2 strength, because Morley, the ranking officer, is gone, who makes them friendly faction. So that was a really good shot. Pretty proud of myself there. That worked out pretty well. But anyhow, dice kind of fail at that point. One of his jacks on the left, the Suppressor, comes up and kills the AFG and sprays down and kills a couple of halberdiers. And then his other Warjack, the one with the big POW 14, comes over to the right-hand side. And so he had popped feet for that, and dice just were kind of lacking on him. I took that advantage. AFG killed some more stuff. Halberdiers killed some more stuff. Thane Knight and aelyth Fire continued to kill some more stuff. Hydra got in there and killed one of his jacks, the Suppressor. And in the process, it threw that jack into the Forgeguard, killing about 3 Forgeguard and knocking them down. So the Forgeguard would be less than effective. Then his other... And that was pretty much my turn. My AFG on the left was dead, and halberdiers were tied into that Suppressor on the left. And the right side was just a big pile of shambles. No scoring, because he got in a spot where he could contest my flag on the left, and I had Thane Knight and aelyth Fire contesting his flag. So he goes in, and aelyth Fire, he toughed like 3 times this game, and was killing the assault stormtroopers each time. They clear out the rest of my halberdiers, and aelyth Fire and Thane Knight. And my Hydra up there lives because of poor dice. And so the Hydra is contesting that flag. So then it becomes my turn, and my halberdiers ineffectively wail on that Suppressor, and my Hydra goes up and kills that other Warjack that has the staff and the POW 14 gun. And the AFG shoots some things, and I'm contesting his flag. And then this is where things start to turn. It's around turn 6. I'm up 1. No, sorry, it's turn 5. I'm up 1-0 because I scored that flag at one point. He kills my Hydra and scores that flag, and then kills my halberdiers and my stuff on the left-hand side and scores that rectangle on the left. So he goes up 2-1. It is now my turn 6, and his clock is on 40 seconds, so he's just slapping the clock back to me at this point. Slapping the clock, slapping the clock, slapping the clock. Each turn. He does not have time to do anything. So my AFG runs over to contest that rectangle and contest his flag up on the top, and then my Hydra on the left goes over to his Jack that's in the left-hand square zone and attempts to kill it. And before that, no, I'm messing this up. Yeah, no, I just run Hydra over there. I just ran Hydra over there, and I think that happened a little bit before because I knew he didn't have time to really kill it. So, and Kaelyssa got in a spot where she could shoot it, and she boosted a 6, sacrificing movement on, I think it was turn 6, and I missed the 6 to stationary his Jack, and my own Hydra was in combat, and I stationary my Hydra. My stationary cannot shake it because it's past the maintenance or control phase. And I pass clock. No one scores. My opponent is a fabulous man, and he convinces me not to quit right there because I still have another turn. He doesn't have any time to kill the AFG. He has no time on his clock to roll dice and kill the AFG. So, or to try and kill Hydra. But he does have time to run 2 models over into the top left-hand side of that rectangle. And so then I still have like 6 or 7 minutes left on clock, but I didn't see him do that. I wasn't aware of it. And I have Kaelyssa shoot and hit this time, calling stationary his Jack, and then I put a whole bunch more shots into it, do a whole bunch more damage. And then I activate Hydra, and I realize, oh no, he's got those 2 models in that zone. And I didn't move Kaelyssa onto the flag. So I'm not even, because I could have scored that top rectangle on the left, and I could have scored that flag with Kaelyssa, and I could have made it 3-2, and I could have won the game that way on turn 7. I messed it up. When the little tiny tough moments came, I messed up all the little details. I should have slowed things down. I had 7 minutes. That's basically eternity on round 7. That is eternity. I should have really thought things through and made sure I did it right. I didn't. Oh, he put up with some really bad dice on the right-hand side of this board. He also had some good dice when he killed the AFG, and he also had some good dice when he took out my halberdiers early on that kind of made it so he won the left-hand side. But his dice were pretty bad on the right-hand side, and I had a whole extra turn of doing stuff that I shouldn't have had. But that's how these games work. That's how dice games work. I just wish at that very last turn I had pulled through and made the correct decisions to win that game. So many regrets, because Kaelyssa could have shot both of those little guys after stationarying their Jack and then repoed to the flag, and then Hydra could have walked up and thrown their Jack out of the zone. And that would have won me the game right there. Boom. That would have been it. Great game. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Nail biting all the way through. I have obviously regrets, but playing into Crucible Guard for the first time, it was a pretty good introduction. I really got to see what they do. The Withering Humor on the Dragon's Breath rockets, really good. The Rocketmen, super annoying to get rid of. They aren't as crazy scary as I made them out to be. Once the lines kind of clashed, the Rocketmen weren't that big of a deal just being in there. The Combat Alchemists, pretty good, because they've got the Ice Cage grenades, and they're also making clouds. He played them really well by moving them up behind that building and dispersing them so they make a cloud wall in front of all this stuff and make it hard for me. I have Phantom Hunter, but that's resources to use. Blur should have been on my halberdiers the entire game. I do not know why I dropped my halberdier, dropped it on the right. I think it was to camp something or foil an assassination run or be a little safer or something like that. I can't remember. Maybe it was extra focus in case I missed the dispel on the Rocketmen, maybe. But Blur should have been on them the entire game, and that's something I should have just done better. Overall, things went pretty well. Yeah. Thank you, and let me know if there's things I'm missing here. I feel like there's definitely a bunch of little details in this. It was a lot more of a weird throw things together, make things work grind than it should have been, just because of the nature of playing into Crucible Guard for the first time. And I don't know if he's seen Kaelyssa and all the things he could do. My opponent, I don't know if he had seen all those things. So it was a really interesting game. Losing the AFG and the halberdiers on the left, I did not expect. But yeah, thanks guys for watching.